and welcome to the Hope Hotline. I'm so sorry. I've been laughing. Oh my gosh. I've been laughing. Hey,
Sharon wants to know she has to pay extra for the sneak peek.
Can you do this? Oh my gosh.
I'm dying.
Sharon, I have been laughing. I don't know however long. God bless it.
That's what we get for these questions.
No, it faces me. I don't know. Yeah, that face. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, none of you know what I'm laughing at except for Sharon.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
so we had a little snafu. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to put myself back
I don't
together.
think you are.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think you
okay,
are.
let me regroup.
Okay.
I would drink coffee, but that might send me right into another laughing stupor.
Oh my gosh.
I literally
Thank you.
have been crying, laughing.
I got it.
Okay. I don't even know where my mouse is because I can't see. I've been crying, laughing for the last, 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm sweating.
I know.
Because I was going over the questions.
Oh my gosh. They can all go back.
Oh my
gosh.
Hope, do you want me to make this recording private after we live stream it? Can we just let it be?
Okay.
Okay.
Because everyone can go back.
No, I can change it so it doesn't.
Oh my gosh. I was going over the questions for today.
Oh my gosh. And it was fine.
I was fine until I wasn't fine.
Exactly.
I was going over them, and we're in a private conversation until we weren't. Thank God it was Sharon.
Yes.
God bless it, Sharon.
Thank God it was
Sharon
Sharon.
sends a text to tell you, I can hear you. Which most of the
Sharon.
conversation I'm not ashamed of, except for one of the parts.
But Talia said it before you, so.
So needless to say, if you weren't on waiting for the Hope Hotline, you missed it.
You missed it.
Otherwise, unless Sharon was, did we delete that?
I can't delete anything right now. We're live streaming. I can make it private.
Yeah, make it private.
Okay. We'll see.
Make the live private?
Yeah. After we're done.
Oh my gosh. We're going to figure out something because.
That was so funny.
Oh my gosh. You missed it. That's all I can say. Holy crap. I've done nothing. Like my voice
Good luck.
is
coming back.
graspy.
Yeah.
That was stinking funny.
That was so
That
funny.
was dang funny. So our private conversation was for everyone to hear. Not anymore. We're going to fix that wagon right quick. Even if I have to delete this podcast when I'm done. I'm not afraid to do that. Only for us 4 ears.
Exactly.
Me, Tracy, Talia, and now Sharon. Not that we didn't cuss or nothing. No. It's just one of the questions was a little bit too much, and I went a little too far.
Oh my gosh.
What's new?
What's new? That's how we do.
But I just keep sometimes I keep going too far. Private. Apparently not today. It's never like it wasn't sin. I didn't sin, so whatever. But dadgummit, that was freaking funny.
Oh man.
Hello, TikTok.
Yeah. Hi, TikTok.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
all the social media sites that we're on right now, since we're getting all screwed up by all of them. I mean, every single one of them, even Rumble, has confined us.
Right.
And I didn't do anything.
Right.
They did the same thing to Tom.
Yeah.
But they changed the algorithm, so they've totally jacked us up. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Okay, so you wanted to do you want to do the thing, and then we'll get straight to the questions?
Yeah. Okay, so if you are watching live on our Facebook, I'm actually going to tell you I'm changing the Rumble right now, just precautionary. So
it's frozen?
Yes, if you are watching on Facebook, hang out there for a second, and then, not good, I need to go back. Okay, if you're watching on Facebook, what I want you to do is I want you to like, and I want you to share, and I want you to comment as well, and just let us know where you're watching from. And then I want you now to head over to Rumble. So we have a new thing. So if Sharon, you'll probably realize in a second, you'll probably come over. Let's see. I'm going to come over here and edit. Oh, I already made that private, I think. We're just going to take some precautions. Because, okay, yeah, it's, okay, we got it private.
We screen record that for ourselves.
Oh, I have it. I saved it as private.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, like, share, comment, let us know where you're watching from. You have two different ways you can watch us on Facebook. You can watch on the Hope Hotline, or you can watch on Foundation Church. And so we would love to just know where you're watching from. Still nothing yet? Okay, I'll deal with it. Okay. Yep. So if you, okay, it should. Yeah, there you go. And then if you're watching on YouTube, listen, we had to just figure this out, but we got it. Okay. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I'm actually going to be doing some stuff, and Hope, you kind of know, because you sent me a video about it, but I found another way using ChatGPT to do something really cool for YouTube. So, yeah. So if you're not subscribed to YouTube, please subscribe, because I'm going to do some really cool stuff coming up. And we're going to take it back like old school. So we'll be going back to like season 1 and season 2, but like bite sizes. So that's the only thing I'm going to tell you guys, but you will only see it on YouTube. At least for now, that's kind of my plan, is just to do YouTube. Like Hope was just saying, all these different platforms, they're changing their algorithms. They're giving weight to different, like just to different genres. Even the genres that are popular, like for example on Rumble, aren't even getting really high views anymore. So, and obviously that's not what it's about, but it is like, it's important. That's why we come on, so that we can engage with you guys and to answer your questions. So, but our audio podcast is still doing really amazing. We are getting tons of downloads for each video, or for each podcast. So that is another great way to always share. You can always go over to Spotify or Apple Podcast or any of those things to be able to find us. And that goes up at the end of every podcast. We can't go live yet to do that. And it is just the audio. It's not, there's no movies or video or anything like that. Black Robe is our own personal, and you can watch live there. And if you would like to, we would love to hear from you guys. You just send in your questions to askhope@hopehotline.com. And those are any questions at all. If you were privy to the conversation earlier, you got a little sneak peek at today's questions, and they are across the board. So there are some spiritual questions, and then just questions about, one specific that I've been asked, or somebody has had, was doing something and they weren't sure if it was appropriate, so they asked, and that is part of our question today. So if you guys have really good questions, or if you've been asked a question and you hope that you gave the right advice, send it in, and we'll kind of see what Hope says about it from a biblical perspective. And Natalie comes in every single month. So that same email I just shared, askhope@hopehotline.com, you could just send your question for Natalie. The next one will be May 30th. So mark that on your calendars, and you have a whole month basically to get me those questions. Hope, no.
How dare you?
There it is. Oh, I put it on the wrong screenshot on the wrong one.
You sure did.
Okay. So,
but it doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm going to try to see if I can download it while I'm talking about how amazing Hope is doing. Okay, so Hope has 133 new followers. So she is killing it on the TikTok.
Well, I'm not really killing it. Let's be honest here. That's not really killing it, but for what we're doing, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
I'm not selling.
Right.
I mean, like, if you're going to make it on TikTok and grow really quick, you're selling something. You're selling you.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form. I
Right.
refuse.
Right.
Nobody wants to see this. And like the way we're doing it is slow and steady. There's ways to really grow fast.
Right.
And then there's ways to really grow incrementally. And that's the way we're doing it.
Right. Exactly.
Because we're not doing what everybody else does. That's part of the problem. So
yeah, no, that's true. And we have reasons. We're doing what we're doing. And so, yeah, so just come and follow along, listen to the questions that she has on there, join in the conversation, repost, do all the things that you can do on TikTok. And then there it is, ours. And we actually, that's an old screenshot, but our Sprite challenge did really well. And don't ask why, just go with us. It got a lot of views. I think we're almost at 4,000 at this point.
it's because
No.
no. Okay,
I know.
I'm not going to say it, but
it's the Wild Wild West, and
but people are nasty,
the people are nasty.
and I didn't know that, or I would never done the Sprite challenge.
Well,
You gotta do those.
Oh my gosh, I'm not doing it, Talia.
Take the risk. It's
Yep. And that, yeah, it kind of will relate to our maybe possibly last question for today and the weird things that people are into. So anyways, before that, Instagram, you can follow us on there as well. We will share stuff on there, any like new updates and stuff like that. If you're, sometimes we share the questions, sometimes Hope will do a quick little video about them. So you just want to stay in touch with all those things. You can get our foundation or our merch at foundationchurchfl.com. You click shop or come on Sunday. And last but not least, we will have no podcast on Wednesday and Friday next week because we will be in Pittsburgh for Revival Today's Woman Conference. And that's what I was missing. I'm like, I'm missing a file. So that's the one I'm missing today.
I mean, we'll be posting stuff, but it won't be a podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't like, there's people that are writing stuff here on TikTok,
Okay.
I think.
I'll come look.
I don't know, but I don't know what it is, but hey, back to you. I don't know what
Okay.
they're saying because I can't read that far.
I know, that's pretty far.
Okay. Nobody said anything then? They're just joined? Okay, just want to make sure I'm not being rude. Okay. All righty, Roo. Okay, are we
Okay.
ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay. What is that? Talia says hi.
Talia saying hi.
All right, let's go. Like I might have to clear my throat about 100 times from laughing so dang hard. My gosh, like that's, you know how you haven't laughed really hard in a really long time and then you do and you're
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like crying, you know,
Yeah.
It's kinda like crying.
Cry out. Yeah.
which I don't do. So my tear ducts were full.
That
Now
was
they're not.
hysterical. And I'm glad I deleted it. Or
Oh my
I
gosh.
stopped and restarted.
So flippin' funny.
Yeah.
But like when you really haven't, I mean, I laugh a lot, but that was a really hard, like I almost couldn't stand up laughing so hard. Because sometimes you just need a good cry.
Absolutely.
But when you're not a crier,
Right.
I'm not a crier.
No, you're not.
So when you're not a crier, you're kind of screwed on that.
True.
Laughter's the best medicine
It is,
anyway.
it
I
is.
don't like crying. Like
I don't either.
for me, like there is not much worth crying over. And some people are like, hold on.
I'm definitely a crier.
Yeah, but you're a crier. So my thing is what about? Like, what do you cry about? Like, what's worth a tear? What?
Cried last night.
You cried last night?
That was more personal, but
Why did you cry? Okay. Oh, it's personal. Don't tell us. You don't need to tell us.
stuff.
Huh?
I don't know. I cry very easily over spiritual stuff. Like spiritual wise, I get very emotional very
Okay,
easily.
okay, that's a whole nother ballgame. Crying over God, I do. But like in life, like
I cry when Thomas gets mad at me sometimes.
well, okay, that's because I don't cry when Tom gets mad at me. But that's not very often. But even when he does, I'm like, he'll get over it, whatever. I don't like perspective, people.
Yeah.
Perspective. I don't know. Like for me, I don't know. Like some people I know, like Vanessa, and she's not here, so I'm going to talk about her because she's not here.
Of course.
But like Vanessa can cry easily, right?
Yeah.
What makes, and this is not one of my questions, but what makes people cry so easily? Like, what's the trigger point inside them? What am I missing?
Feelings.
Oh, I'm missing feelings.
You're missing feelings.
I might be.
Empathy.
No, I feel for people. I just don't feel like I need to cry for them. Like they're not worth my tear.
But do
Not
you
that they're not
do you-
worth my tear. They're not. A tear's like a lot.
Yeah. But you're different. You're different. And I mean that in the best way.
Okay.
I do. I really do. You're different. And I'm getting to that. I don't really cry. I used to cry all the time. And it's just so many emotions. And it's just
a lot.
You just get in your head and so much. And you're just not like that. You don't like really you're not an overthinker, you know, to the point that you're like beating yourself up about it.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. So that's like,
Because then you know what? It's either the next minute, next hour, or the next day.
yeah.
It's all gonna flit away.
I wish I could phone a friend right now.
Yeah, I'm like,
And I can ask
I
her.
literally want to, because I don't think I've ever really been a crier, but I'm always like when somebody cries super easy, they're like, they're always like, I got to change. And I'm like, well, I don't think you really need to change because that's how God made you be. So that's what's
But they don't
makes
like
you
it.
who
Like,
you are.
A lot of people don't like it.
But I'm
Yeah.
like, what triggers you to be able to cry so easily?
Yeah.
I don't have that. But what is that emotion that like makes you like compelled?
You should call Pastor Tom and ask him.
He-
See what his perspective is.
He doesn't cry that easy.
No, I know, but like, why does he think you don't?
Oh, because he thinks I'm soulless. Like he tells me that all the time. You are soulless. And I'm like, I'm not soulless.
You're not.
I don't see the point.
Like when somebody else cries to me, I cry.
Yeah, no.
I don't. I used to, but I don't anymore.
I never cry if somebody sits across from me and starts crying. I'm usually like, if it's like not in the church realm, but like when I would be in business and I'd go to a business meeting or whatever, and somebody, you're getting corrected, or you're. I've been at where I've been corrected so hard, like I felt like, am I going to cry about this? Because now I'm like, I have failed somebody, so now I'm like, I feel the
Yes.
kind of thing, okay?
Yeah.
But I don't cry. But I feel like I want to. But then the person next to me starts crying.
Yeah.
And I literally want to be like, suck it up. Don't cry.
Don't cry.
I mean, I want to cry too, but don't cry. You look weak. Like, be a business person. I don't know. Like, that kind of stuff, I'm just like, you look weak. But then there's but I don't feel like that in the church because it's a whole different realm. But, I mean, I know what it feels like in that, but, like, there's nothing. Even, like, when I've been in the worst situations with my kids, I did not cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
It's impressive.
Well, most with my kids, I've been in the worst situations. I'm like, well, God's going to take care of this, so I don't need to cry. Like,
Right.
I'm not. There's nothing to worry about because He's going to fix all this and work it all out. I'm not going to. So why do I cry?
Yeah.
But, like, seriously, something's wrong. I think something might be wrong here.
I think it's just different.
I don't understand it.
Not wrong, different. Isn't that they say? More sensitive. Yeah, it's just a sensitive. You're not.
But I don't want
you're
to
not-
cry either.
Right. And so you can suck it up.
Yeah.
Like me, I can easily think of something, and this is how I've been acting to theater. I can easily think of something or make up a story.
I don't think
in
they
my
can
head,
hear you.
and I can like instantly cry.
Yeah.
See, and here's the thing with that. That's what I've heard actors and actresses say, that they can cry on at the drop of a hat by just thinking of something. And I'm like, I'd be screwed as an actor or actress because I think of things and I'm like, I don't care. Or not that I don't care. I'm like, I'm not really that bothered by it.
Mind over matter. You've got a strong mind. Allison on TikTok says we don't know why with laughing emojis.
Oh,
So I don't know why.
yeah. You just feel it though? Like you just all of a sudden feel like you have to cry? Is that what it is? Because I don't ever feel like I have to cry. Now I feel like if God makes me feel like
So that must
emotional, but at the
Right.
same time, but even that, like I don't feel like. But like, is it a feeling that just comes upon you and you just feel like you gotta cry?
overwhelming. Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yes. Yeah, like overwhelming. Like you, because I used to be such a crybaby. My dad was like, "Why do you cry all the time?" Like, I don't know. You don't. You just like so overwhelmed and you just
Really?
cry.
It's like whenever it's just like you just cry. Like,
You just
there's
cry.
Like
no-
even when I used to have my period, which
Yeah.
those days are long gone. Thank you, Heavenly Father. But for me, I'm like, I didn't cry.
Oh, I cry.
I mean, I punch faces sometimes, but I never cried.
Well, I only cry
I got
'cause
in
of the pain.
fights, but what?
I only cry because of the pain usually. Or no, there has been times where I've been so like frustrated that I can't find like the food that I want, that I'll like just cry and like put my head against
That's
the
got to
wall.
be hormones.
That's my period.
Like, yeah,
That's
like
when I'm
you're
like,
over like it.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't like that.
I can't imagine
not even-
crying over not finding food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's pretty
I've gotten
wild.
better with that though.
That's good.
Thank God.
Because
Can't
it
go
used to be
lie.
bad
That's
to
pretty
the point
rough.
where I'd like literally go like this on a wall.
No. Yeah.
So mad
That's,
that I
Tell
can't
ya.
find food.
yeah.
Let's remember how old you are, though. Your frontal lobe has not fully
That's true.
developed.
That's true.
That's
That has a
true.
lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's true.
All those days will pass. But
Yes.
even then, I don't think I did. I don't know. My mom's not a crier either. My
Yeah.
dad, he got water-eyed really easily.
Really?
Oh, he'd get watery-eyed
Oh,
really
wow.
fast. he's mean, but he get really like emotional. Like he's a rough dude, but he could get his eyes full of water.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
never really cried though.
Huh.
Maybe I think we have hit something here, people. Psychologically. Thank you for being my therapist
I know,
right now.
We're processing.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Because both my parents never really cried. Although my youngest sister, she cries enough for the whole family. Really.
I think we're going backwards now. So that wasn't it.
No, she would tell you. She literally cries
yeah.
for the whole enough for all of us.
Yeah. I don't either.
You know what I saw on TikTok today? There is no middles in 4, right? So this doesn't apply to my family. But I just saw today, Talia will love this, that the middle child is the best looking child.
Oh, that definitely is not fact.
Sorry, Tracy.
I mean,
Sorry,
I can't.
Doug.
There's 4 in my family, so Tom's told me there's no middle in 4. But like I just saw that on TikTok, and if TikTok says it, it's so.
Who said it on TikTok? A middle child?
I don't know.
Yes.
It's just a graphic.
A middle
meme
child.
or
A middle
whatever.
child made that on
Tracy, just
Canva.
because you have middle child. Okay.
It was definitely a middle child.
Don't resent the truth.
No, I'm just saying. I want to see. I want to see the statistics.
I should have saved it.
Send me the graphs.
Should have saved my shirt. Like I don't like how these sleeves go.
Okay, Allison said, I mostly cry nowadays over my children, their pain or heartbreaks. Do you cry over your children's pain and
No.
heartbreaks?
No, I don't.
No, not so much.
I usually tell them get over it. Like, listen,
Allison, how old are your kids? I'm just
like-
curious.
I'm like you knew what you're getting into it.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what you're getting into. The odds are
Yeah.
your heart's gonna get broken. Okay, so like go into it eyes wide open.
Yeah.
And then if it happens, which the odds are high, it will. Like, jump the hurdle. But have my kids done that? No, they have not. Then I've had to sit and watch them cry and be upset. And there, little Johnny. It'll be okay. I'm there for them, but I do not cry.
You are.
I'm like,
Vanessa's the middle child.
but I mean, you literally have to like. I mean, it's gonna be okay. Like not to cry, I think is okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. That's what I always say.
But okay, so Allison, she's cried over her kids being broken up with somebody.
They're 3 and 5.
Okay, well that's not what she's talking about then.
She said over their pain she said, I mostly cry nowadays over my children, their pain or heartbreak. Youngest has medical needs.
Yes, I know what that's like. Mine, I have a child that's the same thing. I'm going to sound even more heartless, Allison. I did not cry. I've been in ICU more than I want to. But listen, is Allison a Christian?
Allison, are you a believer? I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Do it both ways.
Okay. So for me, Allison, here's the thing. I didn't cry, but all it's been in ICU now 3 times. And every single time I did not cry. And the reason I didn't cry is because of my faith. Like I stand strong.
She is a believer.
Okay, so way to go, girl.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. Again, you could stand strong in your faith and still shed tears.
Right.
I, on the other hand, have no tears, Allison. I have a problem.
But tell
I'm
her,
a robot, my husband.
But tell her what you did and like how you stood and what the fruit was of that.
Well, I never cried because I literally dug into my faith, but I also stand strongly on Psalm 91. And if you don't know Psalm 91, you need to like really learn that and stand on it. But I listen to a lot of, I don't watch a lot of TV. So I listen to a lot of teachings about what the Word of God says about specific things that you and I will walk through in this lifetime. And then it gives me the scriptures that I can stand on. And then I've listened to testimony after testimony after testimony about those specific things that people have followed the scriptures and they've seen the outcome of God coming through for them every single time. And I'll be honest with you, I've seen God, because I've done this, I've seen God do it every single time for me, like so many times that I just said to the Lord this week, like, not in no disrespect to him, but like, you're not going to be able to tell me I don't have faith, that I have no faith to believe for what I'm standing on. Like, there's no way I will be moved off of what I stand and believe in. It's not possible. And it's not a disrespect to the Lord because I haven't seen some of the things come to pass, but I've waited years before. And I still stood that strong. And through those years, at the end of it, when I got done, I saw what I was believing for. So even if it doesn't happen immediately, sometimes it has taken me days, months, years to see what I'm believing for, but I've always seen it. So for me, that helps me. But it just depends. And some people, I know people who believe like me and are strong believers, and they do cry really easy. Again, I'm missing a chip or something. But no, I haven't. I don't cry over that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
So she said, yes, I love it. I always think of Job's story.
Yes, Job is great, but guess what? Job is Old Testament. Mm-hmm. So you even have something better because the covenant of what Jesus provided was far superior to the covenant that Job stood on.
Correct.
And so just like when the Lord was hung on that cross, it says he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. Both of those, transgression and iniquity, both reference sin, right? And then it goes on to say he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. And Isaiah and 1 Peter both say this, right? And by his stripes we are healed. So through the whipping and the beating that he took on his back, those wounds that he received, those wounds provide healing for us. And if you study those scriptures out, like not just read them, but if you actually really study them out, then there's even more hope than what Job had, like for everything that we stand on. Mm-hmm. So it's just amazing. But
also Job's story, like what he went through was only they say probably 2, maybe 4 years was the max that they think he went through that. So it really shouldn't be long. And then in Job 42:10 it says, "And the Lord restored the fortunes of Job when he had prayed for his friends, and the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before." So if you're going to stand on Job's story, it should be short and you should receive double. And that's
like literally, you're smart. I mean, for her to reference that, you're stinking smart, right? Because that's a story of hope,
right,
and restoration.
Right.
And most people look at it opposite of what she is.
Right.
Like they're walking through a burdensome task, or like the worst of the worst,
right,
of testing.
Right.
But you see it as a story of hope, which most people don't. So kudos to you for that, because truthfully, that is what it is. It really is a story of hope.
Exactly.
And redemption. And so pretty dang cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, enough about me and my lack of tears. Yes. Did that thing?
It said I had a choppy video, so we're gonna just she's on mine. So there we go. We're gonna just come back together. Okay, we're back together.
We're back together. We lost everybody that was on there, but we're back together.
They're fine. Everybody's still there. They said you can restart without shutting down. So it's TikTok. They restarted it for us.
God bless TikTok.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay. Let us go to our first question. And I think this first question everybody can relate to. Sharon already knows the first question. Sharon probably can answer the first question because she's privy to it. But let's not digress backwards. Let's move forwards with the day.
Yes, please.
It says, lately going to church has started to feel more like checking a box. And listen, if we get to it, I'm going to just tell you, the questions after this are quite risque.
So if you kids in the room.
Yeah, they're a little bit, that's what got me in trouble.
Yep, it was. These risque questions.
It's a little too much, but here we go. Lately, going to church has started to feel more like checking a box than actually connecting with God. I show up, I sing the songs, I listen to the message, but I leave feeling nothing. I used to feel close to God, but now everything just feels dry and routine, like I'm going through the motions. I don't want to give up on my faith, but I'm struggling to find meaning in something that used to feel so alive. Is this just a phase, or am I doing something wrong? How do I reconnect with God and when even church feels empty? I'm going to tell you, I don't know of anybody that I've ever met in my whole entire life that hasn't felt like you do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's reasons why you feel like you do. They're not good reasons. But, I mean, everybody, myself, everybody on the peanut gallery over there, even the ones that aren't here, everybody's gone through it. Mm-hmm. It's what you do with these times. How much of a non-quitter, and I hate quitting. I hate quitting. I don't hate quitters. I mean,
Well,
it's borderline.
Debatable.
It's borderline. I cannot stand quitters. But I hate quitting. And the reason I hate quitting is because you never win.
True.
If you lose, but you try, then you know what? At least you tried. But most people quit before they can even lose, let alone win. So for me, it's like, suck it up, man. Just go till the end and see. So don't quit because you don't feel something. Like if we lived through life on our feelings, we drop everything we're doing all the time. We quit everything we're doing because like yesterday, if I had my way, I probably would have quit. I don't utter those words because I don't quit. But yesterday, if I went by my feelings, I would have quit everything. Because yesterday was just not the greatest of days.
Oh,
You have them.
yeah, it's true.
Nobody would have
Yeah.
known it. I mean,
Right.
until my daughter. I mean, she found out. But lucky her. but really, like for me, it's like just don't go by your feelings. You can never rely on your feelings on anything in life.
Right.
What you have to go by is what your eyes see and mentally what you're processing.
Yeah.
If you go by your feelings, you will get screwed every single time. It's methodical. It's analytical. You don't go by your heart on what you do, spiritually speaking, or excuse me, you can go by your heart, but you can't go by your feelings. And a lot of times they're synonymous for people. They're not. Your feelings are not the same as your heart. Sure. Okay? So ignore the feelings and go by what you know you're supposed to do, which your heart always tells you, that you don't quit.
Right.
But, I mean, for me, everybody has a story. Mine was like before I even had kids. And I just woke up one Christmas morning and I literally felt dry as the bones. I was like, I had it was the best Christmas. Like the presents underneath that tree that were for me were off the charts, and they were the best of the best. I mean, like so much money spent. We had like money flowing, like because you had no kids, right?
Right.
So you have more money than you know what to do with, or most people do. I mean, not most people, but some people do. In our case, we were blessed. So we had so many presents just for two people. It was ridiculous. But none of that mattered. I didn't care. When I was opening presents and Tom basically said, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, I knew my life and my walk with God was not where it was supposed to be. I wasn't sinning, but it was dead, which is what you're feeling. You're feeling like, is it really something? Is it really real? Or sometimes even people are like, is there really a God? Because they get like that. That feels so dead for them. So, but what I would tell you to do is this. What I did is I said, we stopped opening presents. I said, I gotta go get my life right with God. I gotta get some things changed because I am miserable right now. So I went, spent some time alone with the Lord in the room, and about 30 minutes to an hour later, I came out, and my whole attitude and my whole demeanor and mind were right. And I was heading in the right direction. And I'm going to tell you the only way to fix you where you're at right now is the 4 essentials, which is what we talk about all the time, which is worship, prayer, Bible study, and fellowship. You need those 4 things. Worship, it makes your relationship with God more intimate. Prayer is where you can spend some time talking to him. He already knows what you're going through, so you can intimately have a conversation with him, and he can help you walk it out. Bible study will give you great guidance and direction because it's a great guidebook. It's a great, if you don't know what to do, always go straight there and you will find out what to do. Last time is fellowship. Get around people who have where their countenance and their walk with God is stronger than what yours is. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. So what will happen is whatever they are like will rub off on you. Just like bad company corrupts good morals. Well, this is the opposite of that. If somebody is heading in the direction that you want to go, then what you do is you hang out with them. So what they're doing, you do. What you see is what they're doing, so you'll copycat it, okay? And you will not necessarily feel what they feel, but those feelings will come as you progressively move in that direction. But it takes discipline, it takes consistency. And if you're not willing to put in that time, well, you're going to stay where you're at. But you obviously recognize something and you're wanting to fix it. So you might want to do the 4 essentials. It will change your life. You know, a lot of times I will say this, a lot of times people, and I'm into it because I do it. A lot of times people care a lot about what they eat and making sure that they go to the gym and they are making sure the food that they feed themselves is good food, organic. It's what they consider safe to eat, correct?
Yep.
And but they'll go and they'll work their muscles, their flesh, their body. They take care of their physical body. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. But then when it comes to our spiritual food, we don't read the word, which is your spiritual food. It's the bread of life, right? Isn't that what it says?
Yep.
So you do not eat, you don't read the word. So you're starving. You're starving your spiritual body. And then you don't work out your spiritual muscle, which is your prayer and your worship. And then also the fellowship. So you sit there and go, I'm so depleted. I'm so hungry. I'm malnourished. Yeah, you are. And then you wonder why you're in the state that you're in. It's because you've taken care of your physical body, but you've not taken care of your spiritual. And until you put both of those in line, you're going to be weak, disinterested, and flabby. And that's just the facts. Yep. Go ahead, Tracy. Give your 2 cents.
My 2 cents or ChatGPT's 2 cents?
Oh, dear God. Are you kidding me? ChatGPT has an answer to this question?
It does. And guess what it is?
What is it?
Basically the 4 essentials.
No way.
Yeah. The first one, start small and honest. Pray is the first one, simply and honestly. So it's telling you literally reach out to God. Be honest with him. And then the next one says like replace pressure with presence, but it says to read the Bible, even if you start with 1 verse a day. So we got prayer, Bible study, even though this is like the sad archy version. Change the setting. So if you're going to like worship, maybe go to a different place to worship. Go for a walk. Talk to God in your own words. Don't just try to sound holy. Find one Christian friend, fellowship. Don't isolate. And it didn't say fellowship. I added that in. Journal or write it out. So sometimes it helps untangling spiritual confusion. Why do I feel far from God? Try journaling, asking all those questions. And then focus on relationship, not routine. This isn't about being a quote unquote good Christian. It's about being in relationship with Jesus, who is patient, kind, and not shocked by your season of dryness. So that's what ChatGPT says.
There you go.
There you go.
ChatGPT says it,
I mean,
it's
there it is. And mine is like, if it's a guy or a business type woman, I would say find a purpose like in your walk with God. Like if maybe you're ready for the next level, maybe you're ready to start discipling people and you're not, and you're just like, you feel like you've learned all the things, you feel like you're not taking the next step, and maybe you need to, and God's like wanting you to do it, but you keep missing opportunities. If you have no purpose at all in your walk with God, you're going to feel like you're aimlessly walking around, especially if you're a person of purpose.
Oh yeah.
And that can make you feel really dry. And if you're a type of person that loves taking care of people, maybe it's time to start serving people. Maybe it's time to start going into homes and helping people, and God's calling you to do that stuff. And you're just like, oh, you've been like an when you're heavy,
obese,
you're obese Christian. You're like receiving, and all you're doing is eating all day long Christianity, and you're not ever giving anything out. And so if there's no purpose, you're going to feel dry.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
It's not going to work.
Tell you.
That was really good. I don't really have anything to say. You guys have
you ever felt spiritually dry? Or you're just like, I don't even want to go to church. I don't want to read my Bible. I don't want to pray.
not
Can you
like-
talk into your mic?
Sorry.
You can call it to you.
Never not wanting to go to church, but
Okay.
I felt like not lost, but like trapped before, where I like felt like
Okay.
I would go back and forth. Like I would do so good, and then I do so bad, and I do
Okay.
so good, and then that's what I've dealt with.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I guess
She's the yo-yo.
Yeah.
I guess it
okay.
could be dryness, but
Well, no, if you didn't stay in it very long. For her or him, this person's been in probably the state for a period of time.
Yeah.
Where they recognized it. You yo-yoed. You just went back and forth.
Right.
For me, I was in it for a while. I was probably 3 months. For 3 to 6 months, where it's just like slowly, gradually, where it's just dry as bones. So
Yeah.
that's my
That's good.
recommendation. So let's do sponsors, and then we are moving to the next question because we got 20 minutes, and I'm going to get through both of these
Yeah. We can.
spicy
I can't
questions.
wait to share
Oh my
something with the
gosh.
last one.
Oh,
so.
dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, I don't know if I can take it.
You can.
Oh, my gosh.
You're going to laugh.
Real estate appraisal. Did you ask ChatGPT?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, my gosh.
No. Just, yeah.
Real Estate Appraisal Associates of Southwest Florida, Inc. is owned by Laura Keller. They have been in business since 2005. They provide the most accurate certified home appraisal service in Southwest Florida. They have upfront pricing with no hidden fees, no waiting for a couple weeks for your appraisal. They will have it done in 2 to 4 days. Why do you need an appraisal? There are many reasons to get one. First, when you sell your home, it removes any concern that you're priced it too low to eliminate paying high estate taxes on the home you inherited. To make sure that you are not paying too much in property taxes because of an inaccurate home valuation. And lastly, so that when you list your home, it's not priced too high and sits on the market for months or longer. Real Estate Appraisal Associates of Southwest Florida are highly trusted and valued. They have done over 10,000 appraisals, and they are locally owned and operated for over 30 years. They are a licensed state certified appraiser and are an expert team. Their appraisals have a 100% money back guarantee. They can provide real estate residential appraisals in the following counties: Charlotte, Sarasota, Manatee, DeSoto, Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Lee. If you give her a call, tell her that you heard about her from the Hope Hotline, and you will receive a $50 discount. If you are listening and aren't watching live, the number to call is 941-743-3700, 941-743-3700. Hanson Automotive Services has been in business since 2017 and 20 years experience. They do everything from oil changes to tires to AC work to engine repair and replacement. They're not just motivated to do their best, they are auto-motivated. Their business lives by Proverbs 16:3, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. His phone number is 941-460-3962, 941-460-3962. And if anybody is watching on TikTok, like and follow, please, and say hey. On the Hope Hotline and on my own, Hey It's Hope 05. Isn't that right? Hey It's Hope 05. 01. So follow.
Yeah.
Because we have more than just this going on. Okay, so here's the first question, or the next question. My husband's upset with me. He found my stash of romance novels. That's like having a bunch of Playboy. It's like she's got them hidden. As if like he found my stash of Playboy.
Yeah, not good.
Is Playboy even around anymore?
I don't know. It has to be, but
Since Hugh left, since Hugh passed. What is it?
Like people still wear like clothing and stuff with like Playboy on it and hats and stuff.
it's ChatGPT.
Okay. I'm sure it knows. Ask him. You do like the dictionary and the encyclopedia used to be back in my day what everybody went to and asked a question. Like, okay, that's dating it, but it's still somewhat true. But you and this thing are like best buddies.
Best buds. Guess what? After a 5-year hiatus, Playboy magazine returned to newsstands on February 10th, 2025.
Oh my gosh! See, I knew I hadn't seen it around. I knew something wasn't right.
At your favorite Playboy, at your favorite magazine store.
This shirt. I'm never wearing this shirt again. I hate this shirt. I'm all confused. My sleeves.
Oh my gosh.
Between
Oh my gosh.
Between what was going on before we even started this, my shirt.
What a podcast.
My boobs are wanting to hang low. I don't know. Because my bra, the shirt is messing up my bra and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so there was hiatus. But I think mostly digital. Expanded its digital presence.
That's disgusting.
Obviously. So, right.
Great. It's because nobody's buying magazines anymore. Paper is becoming a thing of the past, huh?
It's out.
Playboy Group reported a net loss of $12.5 million in Q4 of 2024.
What? Well, that's because they weren't doing anything, though. So they're going to have a loss. If they
I
were
think
on
they were digital.
hiatus.
They were print was, which makes because print's expensive. They were
Right.
digital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, nobody
yeah.
probably knows, though, too. I don't know.
Huh.
I knew I don't know how I knew. Okay, because I don't obviously look for Playboy, but I'm just saying. I was like, you haven't heard anything about it.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
And it was so big for so long because they
Yeah.
had like the reality shows too.
Yeah,
So that like made it.
Did you
more
see that girl
mainstream.
Kendra who's come out like and said, "I can't believe I had sex with that old man"?
I don't know. Is it a recent thing?
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
commercial. She's a realtor now.
Yeah, I know.
No, it wasn't a commercial.
Because she had a show after it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was like a commercial, but it might have been like Instagram or something like that. I don't
Probably,
know.
yeah.
But she literally confessed that's
I feel
ugh.
like I saw something about it. Yeah.
Like with her kids, and now she's divorced and everything. She's like, I'm a
Right.
realtor, and I walk into these places and I think people think about me and they're like, you had sex with that 90-something-year-old man. Yes, yes, I
she
did.
Playboy?
She's like, what was I thinking?
There.
She was one of Hugh's girls.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She got
anything about
picked.
Playboy, so.
Yeah. It was.
That's rough. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that is. Really
I mean,
Special.
like, that's rough. Like, what are you thinking the whole entire time? Like, where is your mind at?
Money. Money, money, money.
Like,
And all the
what are you
parties.
thinking of dollar signs while you're
Yes.
in that bed with that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, for
And they're
sure.
drinking and yeah.
I,
There's
I
no-
would
there's-
have to
They
be
don't know
so
what's
intoxicated, and I would have to be so high.
That's what they do.
It's
They
not
are.
happening.
They are.
You think they are?
Ecstasy,
Oh,
all the
absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely, Molly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You would have to be.
100% they are. It's all parties. All they do is party.
Party.
Party, party, party. Yeah, you have. There's no. I won't believe anybody that says they were sober.
Yeah, yeah.
And so much money, and so much fame, and all these people that come, all the famous people that come in. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I know.
Gross, man.
I know. Yeah.
I'd be on the fast train to, I don't know where.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Not there.
No, there ain't enough money in the world. Nothing.
No.
But let's go.
Yeah.
My husband's upset with me. He found my stash of romance novels. I told him it's not a big deal. They're just books. The books are very descriptive about the relationship and even sexual activity, but it's all made up. I really don't know what the big deal is. How can I explain that to him? How about because it is a big deal?
Yeah.
If you're a Christian, and if you're watching TikTok, this is a Christian podcast.
Yeah.
My other stuff is not Christian based, but this is. So if you're a Christian, I mean, in the world, heck no, reading those novels isn't a big deal at all. I mean, everybody
Right.
reads them.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
But everybody's looking at the P word too. I
Right.
don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
I think you can.
Are you sure?
Okay. Well, usually people say corn.
Usually say corn.
Corn.
Yes.
Okay. Corn with a P.
Just corn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, because I don't want somebody to think I'm talking about corn. But corn with the P.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, yeah, sure. They know.
I mean, everybody. I mean, like everybody looks at that when you're not a Christian. I mean, hello. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you read these novels?
Right.
Why wouldn't you buy Playboy?
Right.
Or Penthouse? Is Penthouse even around anymore?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Why not?
Like, I don't know. Like, of course you're gonna buy these things. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be stupid if you weren't. I
Right.
mean, people would think you're crazy. But as a Christian,
Right.
no, you have absolutely no business reading that crap. Those, like, it's literally literal corn with a P.
It's gonna be the replay.
It's literally that. It's
so
a
funny.
it's literary
Literary.
Literally.
corn with a P.
Yeah.
And instead of pictures, which I think pictures are far less than what your imagination can do.
That's true.
When you read a book. I mean, when you let your own mind, I mean, a picture can only say 1,000 words, but your mind.
That's facts, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really true.
So your
Right.
imagination can go wild on literary corn, and you're never. Soap operas are no different. Soap operas are soft corn with a P.
Yeah. These books are pretty. I had a friend that was reading them, and she was quiet about it, and then it was
About
obvious-
the reading of the
Yeah.
or soap operas.
no, the books,
Okay.
and
Why was she quiet about it?
because she knew it was wrong.
Is she a Christian?
She is.
Oh, because she knew it was in those things.
'Cause
Like
she-
everybody's read them. I've read them. I wasn't saved. Man, I was deep inside those things.
Oh, I haven't read them. I don't like
I've read
read.
them.
I'm not a reader though.
Well,
Like, so-
I didn't read things like 50 Shades of Grey. That's like way. I'm talking
That's
about.
what this stuff is.
Okay, well, see, my stuff was never that bad.
Yeah.
But like, I read my
That's like-
grandma's romance.
Okay, right, right. What was the
They
plot?
weren't good though, guys.
What was the plot?
Always that you fall in love.
Okay.
That you're married to the wrong person. That you
Okay.
really should have married this guy.
Okay,
How you
yeah.
long and pine to be with him.
Okay.
Then you do.
Okay.
Like you cheat on your husband or whatever. But it's not like 50 Shades of Grey and things
These are
like that.
graphic, like-
Huh?
Yeah,
these
these-
books go into detail of what's happening during like the fun, like the.
Well, yeah, I know. That's even worse.
Yeah.
So I know.
That's
See, I
probably what-
know
Okay.
there are books out there that are far worse than what I was reading.
Right.
And what I was reading. And like I said, I'm not going to go into everything I said prior to prior to the podcast, but Sharon, you know. But here's the thing: like, if you're getting turned on by these books, okay, that's lust. And lust, if it's not addressed and you're not thinking about your spouse with it, and you're thinking of somebody else or reading these books and you're feeling a lot of lust and things like that, you're not to. That's the Bible clearly talks about not lusting. It's a sin.
yeah.
So you're sinning. You can't do it. If you're fantasizing about someone else in a book that you've imagined in your mind, and it's wrong. You can't do it. And what's worse is what it'll do to your relationship with your spouse. Because you'll look at these books, and if you're a woman, listen. When your husband looks at porn, or excuse me, when he looks at like Playboy or Penthouse or something like that, and he looks at that stuff, you get all ticked off that he's looking at that because you can't live up to that like image that he's looking at. Okay, well, that's probably true that you probably can't. That's probably a fact. Not they're doctored, they're photoshopped. Even those people don't look like what they're in that magazine. That's the facts. But even still, when you're reading that magazine, it's not fair to your husband. Like, he can live up to what you're reading. That guy doesn't even exist. He's made up. He's in literary form. If you looked the world over twice, you would still never find him.
True.
It's not possible. So it's not fair to make your spouse live up to something that doesn't and will never exist. And then you'll become discontent with him. And how fair is that?
Not fair.
Not fair at all. I don't care if you're not a Christian or a Christian. To do that to your spouse is just plain wrong.
Right.
It's not cool. You don't
Yeah.
like it when he wants you to look like the Playboy model.
Right. And do the Playboy stuff.
Yeah. Which I might not be so wrong with doing the Playboy.
I don't know. Yes, you are. There's certain
Just
things
kidding.
that you are like, absolutely not.
I don't know what they do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, really bad stuff?
Well,
Really bad stuff? Okay, she's sipping her coffee. I don't know what they do because I literally have never
Right.
really looked at that stuff.
Right.
But I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah. Do it.
Stay away from the books. Psalm 103:3 in the New Living Translation says, I will refuse to look at anything vile and vulgar.
Oh, there you go.
I have scripture
There
to
it
back
is.
up what I'm saying. Besides the thing that says that you can't lust. It's a sin.
Right.
Matthew 6:22-23 says, your eye is like a lamp that provides light for your body. When your eye is healthy, your whole body is filled with light. But when your eye is unhealthy, your whole body is filled with darkness. And if the light you think you have is actually darkness, how deep is the darkness? So guard your heart, guard your marriage at all costs. I'm telling you right now, I never, never, never let anything come between me and my husband. Not one thing. Guard, I love him, and you made a commitment to your spouse, girl or guy. Never let one thing or anybody get in between you. And that means a book, then get rid of the books. Proverbs 4:23 says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. So you want to keep those books, it'll filthy up your heart, which means the course of your life might not be with your spouse anymore because you might become not real happy with him because what you believe is truth is a complete lie.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
go ahead. What were you going to say? What does ChatGPT say?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I can though.
No.
But just so you know, we have some friends on TikTok, and we have 4.4 thousand likes right now that we got from they're liking all of our stuff right now.
Okay, so let me ask you, is just somebody doing this?
A bunch of people. A bunch of people are. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I know.
You've got some comments on yours.
God
Yeah.
bless it.
Yep.
I love you for that.
Amen in your
What is that?
comments.
Somebody
Someone said amen in your comments.
Yeah.
Woo,
Exactly.
woo.
I know. And we got, a few people came on and they just started liking it like crazy.
I love you for that.
I know. And Allison is from Sarasota, and she's been here for one of the conferences. And I think I remember her.
Allison?
Yeah, Haley brought her.
What?
Yeah. I know.
Allison, I love you. I think we're like-minded in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Yep.
Too bad you can't go to Pittsburgh with us because
No.
the people who are at my conference.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? The women's conference or was it Dare to Be? I forget which one. Yeah. I forget which. I think she did.
Is it
say.
hot? Is it super hot? Well, you live in Florida, so you get it. But was it in August? Because if it's in August,
I think I remember. I was a women's conference.
so it was my beloved.
It was the Beloved in August. Okay. I feel like she just introduced me to somebody, but maybe, and I can't see your profile picture right now. But yeah, but you should come to church on Sunday, and then you should come to our Tuesday group. So just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying. It's fun.
ChatGPT told her to say that.
Yeah, I would say that if you want to have a marriage that you feel very secure in, you probably, men and women, obviously, but men should stay away from corn, and women should stay away from romantic things that can lead your mind to a different place. And if you are having struggles in your marriage, that's the root of it. That's the problem. And covering it with these other things is not going to make it better. So just figure out what's going on. And escaping it to a book is not going to help you.
Heck no.
It's just gonna allow the enemy a foothold in your marriage. And honestly, there is very few times that a adultery happens from like a night out and it just happens.
It's a seed planted.
There's a seed that plants, and it has to start usually in your imagination first. And so if you can imagine it in your imagination, then it's easier to do it in the natural. So if you don't even allow it to happen here, it's not going to happen in the natural. So, and everybody says, oh, I would never. And, well, you're probably susceptible if you think I would never, because unless you like really mean that, like spirit, like I would never, like you take your vows.
I would
some people
never
are like, they're flippant
put
about
yourself.
it.
I would never put yourself above anything.
Yeah,
that's possible.
and especially if you're allowing imaginations to run wild, and you're like, oh, I would never actually do it. Like I'll have one glass of wine, but I would never get drunk. But then you're out every single night. Like, are you being honest with yourself? Because some people are delusional and they'll just say things.
Most people are delusional.
I think everybody has a little level of delusion. So just make sure it's not to the point that it will lead you to sin. So yeah. And you can be watching Hallmark movies, and then all of a sudden you're getting frustrated with your husband that he's not doing these beautiful romantic things for you, and it could start there. That could be a problem for people.
Well, I find it hard for me. The Hallmark is so bad. Like, why any woman would like?
But listen, Hope, you're different. You're different. Some girls just want to be like swept off their feet and turn off their brains and not think and just live in la la world with their la la husband, and it's just beautiful.
That it's all B rated right there.
I know.
if you're lucky. Most of the time it's C.
gosh. Yeah.
C actors. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. This one's interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just kidding.
I don't know what you're thinking if this turns you on. That's all I'm going to say.
Sprite
like, you're
challenge.
sick. Oh, yeah. Like, that's not Sprite. This isn't,
I
but
know,
this is, but
like,
that's it
it's-
to this level.
It's
Yes.
ridiculous.
So nasty. Okay.
Okay.
And I don't even mind looking or touching
Okay.
this item, but I'm just saying, which it's not what you're thinking. I'm going to tell you what it is. But it says, Hope, I know this is kind of crazy, but I have heard of people selling pictures of their feet. And I don't mind feet. I don't mind touching feet.
Okay.
But being turned on by feet? Are you kidding me? Like, looking at somebody's feet turns somebody on? What? What? In the name of all that is holy. Are you thinking? They do it for money. I thought it was crazy, but to be honest, I considered looking into it because of the amount of money these girls are making. Some claiming millions of dollars for feet. I would love to know who's making millions of dollars. Hey, Tracy shakes her head yes. I would love to know who makes millions of dollars. Are these people ugly? Or are they?
Go on TikTok. No.
Oh my gosh. It's on TikTok? People are making money off of TikTok with their feet.
No, but people are
Well,
open about
they
it, that
they
sell
talk
feet
they
pics.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
on
Yes,
TikTok.
they talk about their journey. Yes.
Of selling pictures of their feet
Yeah.
for money.
Yeah.
It's yes. Yep.
And there was one, I don't remember what it was, but sometimes they'll put in special requests for your feet pic and have you put like a certain item by your foot.
Yes.
Or
Okay. You're going to have to come over here and look at this really quick because I'm going to ask this. You're really looking at yours. I'm going to ask this question. Okay, is it only women's feet or is it men's feet?
I think women. All I've heard is women.
If there's male or female, I'll listen to it. Just read to me if anybody, and I'll talk until we get some answers.
Okay.
Why? Why do people?
I'll
What
ask
turns
ChatGPT.
on? What turns people on to make them want to look at feet?
I know why, but okay. But
Okay,
we'll
if-
see what everybody else says. First,
Yeah,
then I'll
I
give
want
my
to know,
opinion.
like, what? Like, I'm telling you right now, I have seen some of the most ugly feet in all of my
Yeah,
life.
and they can be ugly too.
Most people's feet are not attractive.
Right.
Hardly anybody's feet are attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody want to look at somebody's feet and be turned on by it? So the rest of the question is, when I started researching the website, I got convicted, so I stopped. What do you think? It's just feet. It's not just feet. You're causing somebody to lust. Again, if you're in the world,
Right. Make
Like-
that money. Get that bag.
kudos. Kudos to you. Seriously. Tell you, you're serious. You thought about
Can you
Oh.
sin and then repent and then come back?
you sin, you repent,
Repent, and then
you
come-
put the money in the bank.
Yeah.
Then you
Tithe.
sin.
And you tithe.
Sin, you repent, you put the money in the bank.
And tithe.
Like for me, I'm like, okay, as a Christian in the world, I say I'll offer you to both sides. If you're in the world, go for it. Like, what does it matter? Make the bank, make the money.
But okay, so the only problem, what I'm thinking is, people in the world, will you just stick to feet?
Right,
Or are
it
you
starts
gonna
to become
start
more.
because they're gonna be like, oh, what if I gave you $500 and just show me like
So they
your
ask
leg?
you those questions?
Yeah.
What?
you can get requests.
Yes,
for
you
it,
get
yeah.
requests.
But I thought you meant they just requested the
They
the
do,
top
but
of
then you
your
get-
feet, then the bottom of your feet.
Listen,
They do, but
Your
then they start asking
toes.
for more.
but you send
That's
them to these
where it
people.
starts, then. It's
That's
not
where
really
it
about the
starts.
feet.
But some
They're-
people say like, oh, I only do feet. But do you really? Because what happens when somebody says, I'll give you $5,000. I just want to see your kneecap. And then it's higher. And then it's high. You know what I mean? Like, because these people are special.
You can easily turn them down.
But no, can
most
you
girls
easily
don't
turn it down?
care.
Can you easily turn it down? Do you have a line in the sand?
Yeah, because
Well, back
they
in the
just
day, I had no
unsubscribe.
line,
Right,
so
right.
I
They
don't
just
think so.
unsubscribe.
Right. But then would you feel like, are you going to have regret afterwards?
No,
that
I
somebody,
would. They sell it, but that's all they have is your body part without your face.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe you don't have regret. Like,
Yeah. So just maybe identify your regret. No face.
yeah, I'm not. You're not going to get my face. But then but here's the thing. This is what you would have to do. You'd have to change. You could have nothing on your profile, that resembles you, and all you could have is for your profile, like for TikTok, is your foot.
That's what people do.
Never could you allow anybody to be able to trace it back to you, because then you're back to where they can sell the stuff.
And good luck.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah, that's a risk, though. That's the risk you have to be willing to take.
On OnlyFans, which is where most people do their feet pics.
Is on OnlyFans?
Right. You have to pay to get to see the feet pics.
Right.
So you're still getting paid if someone takes your feet pics.
And there's websites for just feet pics, though.
Yeah. It's usually a subscription type of thing.
Yeah.
And then if they don't like that, you won't send your...
We've talked
Coach
about
to
this
them, they
before,
can
right?
unsubscribe.
Because some of this is coming back to me. I'm like, this sounds somewhat familiar to me.
At
Like
one
we
point,
have.
I took a picture of you and you had your feet out, and I'm like, I can't post that because somebody's going to put that on the feet website.
I
And
always
you're
talk
like,
about,
what?
You can't post your feet, yeah.
Right. So we joked about it a long time ago.
Oh, because I'm like, somehow this reminds me of that question. Interesting. Well, it's sick. First of all, as a Christian, absolutely, positively, no, because you're going to cause somebody expense to sin. And especially if you're going to do it for profit, that's even worse. If you aren't a Christian, I say go for it. Make the money.
Make that money.
Yeah. It's gross,
It is
but
kinda
make that
gross.
money.
Jared's saying I look guilty.
Oh, so just so you know, Hope Hotline has received money for feet pics. $2 from Jer. He literally sent on the Rumble chat $2 for feet pics.
Not happening. But
He paid in advance.
you know what? I'll make sure your wife
Go get
takes
your
care of
feet
that
later.
for you
Oh my
tonight.
gosh. You can have some
Okay,
feet pics.
there's some things that I can make
Okay.
happen for you.
Yeah.
That might be one of them.
I'll send a feet pic.
You
Blech.
actually might probably like that. That's the scary
Yeah,
part.
that is.
Jared will definitely like
He'll make that $2
my
back
gosh.
for $100 by selling it somewhere.
I mean, hey, that's a
That's
businessman.
listen, he is a businessman.
He's a businessman. Okay, ChatGPT says a foot fetish is one of the most prevalent forms of sexual fetish. For some people, feet are a major source of attraction. Pictures of feet, especially well-groomed, posed, or styled in certain ways, can be arousing, and they are often sought out as part of a private fantasy or desire. Some buyers prefer for it to be private for both parties. And then it says some are just collectors and they have aesthetic appeal. Not all buyers are fetishes. Some genuinely enjoy aesthetic or artistic angles, especially with styled feet, painted nails, or interesting backgrounds like a beach shot or shoes. Think of it like fashion photography.
Oh my gosh.
Not probably the top percent.
No.
And it just said this has become loyal interest becomes a market. Some people are willing to pay because the content is custom, rare, and it's a very specific desire. I think it's demonic. That's my thought. Because it is so, like, nobody likes feet until you love feet so much that you'd pay money for it.
It is weird.
Like, nobody loves feet. Like, nobody's like,
That's so gross.
it has to be like,
I mean, I'll touch somebody's feet.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
enjoying touching somebody's
right.
feet.
That's what I mean. So the fact that you enjoy it, I think you need Jesus.
Yeah, I really hope nobody who's done my toes has enjoyed it.
I know, they're probably like taking pictures.
I know.
Yeah, you've had some guys.
Super gross.
I know. Every time I go to get a pedicure, it's a freaking guy. So
That's
annoying.
why you have to request. You pay, or you don't pay.
Oh
you
my
have a
gosh.
schedule.
Oh
You
my gosh.
you reserve
Well,
that person.
It was when we were in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
we all went to
I
get our
know.
toes done, and guess who was the only one that got a guy?
And yeah, and
me.
she thought he was cute too.
He was pretty good looking. He has tattoos too. But I was still, it's awkward. Like, I don't want a guy touching my feet, bro. Mm-hmm. Every time. It's every time.
I know. There's some pretty crazy requests on TikTok for selling certain things. And even like there's one girl that like has a guy that like really likes her, so like, he wants to see her like pour milk into a cereal bowl, and then like she's not on camera, but like she eats it off screen
And just the sound
and
of
then
it.
like puts her hands in, and like he likes her hands. Like people are and she makes so much
Off
money.
of her hands.
Yeah. And like doing things. Like he has specific things he wants her to do with her hands. And it's like a FaceTime, so you can like see him.
That's gross.
She makes so much money. But it is very
I
lustful.
don't
Like
think I could
they
do
are
a FaceTime. I could pre-record it, but not do it
you know,
FaceTime.
that's what he wants. Sorry.
So gross.
But it is very lustful. Like the whole thing is lust. So if you're okay with somebody lusting,
which a lot of people are. Like,
Right.
what do they care?
That's true.
As a
don't know, it's just
Christian,
yucky
though,
to-
you
yeah,
can't.
I know, maybe
but
that's just why.
if you're in the world, who cares?
I guess so.
Yeah, like who cares?
Yeah.
What would it matter? It wouldn't matter to me. Like,
Well, again, you're special. I think it would make me feel yucky.
I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying, like, I would
In the
feel
world, you wouldn't do it?
like no,
Oh,
it's
okay.
too weird. But the thing is for me, like for somebody to do it, of course, why wouldn't they?
No, I
right?
know.
They're making lots
I
of
know.
money.
I know.
Me, it's not because I have
100%.
scruples or I'm like that's taboo. It's more like that's disgusting. That's
Oh my
gross. I'm sorry, I'm not doing
gosh.
that.
Oh my
I'm just
gosh.
not doing that. That's gross to me. But other things, I might be like, I'm in. Just depends.
Just depends.
It just depended, like I didn't have too many boundaries, but the ones that I had probably started at the feet. So it's not going to
Special.
happen.
That's
All right, guys, we are done for the day. We
did
are
it.
off all next week
Yes.
because
And
we
do
are
it a
out
bang.
of town. So, but we'll be posting. We'll be doing stuff because
Yeah.
we'll be capturing moments.
Especially on TikTok. So
Yeah, especially on TikTok.
join us on TikTok.
Special moments, special friends,
Yeah.
great time. See ya on, I'm not even going to count because I don't even know. See ya, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that.
Yes.
We will see you then. And I'm about to cough. We'll see you on Sunday at Foundation Church. Bye.